11 days and counting to Iowa, and the races for the nomination in both parties are too close to call.
Some fearless predictions for 08. Fred Barnes, politics.
The Democratic nominee, whoever that is, will win the presidency over any Republican, based entirely on the fact that Democrats have so much more enthusiasm, so much more money.
We've been talking all year about the Republican dilemma, and it has not gotten solved.
Well, there's no Republican frontrunner.
Republicans don't have a candidate.
Republicans are like a person who gets a gift that they don't like, and they return that gift. Then they get a new one, and they don't like that one, so they return that one.
Bill, politics.
A deadlocked Republican convention turns to the most qualified Republican of them all to be president on the 5th ballot, Dick Cheney. And he wins in a landslide in November.
And his slogan is, no more Mr. Nice Guy, huh?
Yeah, right. Bush was too compassionate. Let's forget about all that. I think, contrary to Fred, I think Republicans win in November, and if it's not Dick Cheney, McCain, Romney, McCain, Lieberman, there's some very good Republican tickets.
You've been having a lot of that holiday cheer last night, I think.
Now, all these candidates have special Christmas TV commercial. Did any of them work?
Look, I think the only one that worked is the one we all are still talking about. Mike Huckabee's hat.
By the way, the cross in the background was a bookshelf. Everyone thought that we were so smart and clever. The truth is, it was a bookshelf. We hurriedly put the spot together. It wasn't scripted. I ad-libbed the spot. It was done at the end of a long taping day, and really kind of a thought of, well, let's do a Christmas spot just in case we decide to use it.
It reminds me of what Sinclair Lewis once said. He says, when fascism comes to this country, it will be wrapped in the flag, carrying a cross.
What does that mean?
They caught me completely cold on that. I had not seen the ad, and they just said there was a cross there. And, you know, it was an instantaneous reflex because I knew of Sinclair's Lewis about being cautious.
You do not believe that Mike Huckabee, that ad commercial, represents the potential of fascism in the form of a cross?
No, but I think this country, a movement in the last 100 years, is moving toward fascism. The country's moving in that direction. That's what I'm thinking about. This was not personalized. I never even used my opponent's names, if you notice.
So you think we're close to fascism?
I think we're approaching it very close.
This phenomenon on the internet, Ron Paul, who's raising millions and millions of dollars.
The thing about Ron Paul, and we'll see once the votes actually start to come in, is that he has been a phenomenon on the internet, a phenomenon in raising money, just as you've said. But in the polls, right, like nowhere's Bill, basically, still.
I was intrigued by your comments about Abe Lincoln. According to Paul, Abe Lincoln should never have gone to war. There were better ways of getting rid of slavery.
Absolutely. 600,000 Americans died in a senseless civil war. No, he shouldn't have gone to war. He did this just to enhance and get rid of the original intent of the Republic. I mean, it was a iron fist in Washington.
We'd still have slavery.
Oh, come on, Tim. Slavery was phased out in every other country of the world, and the way I'm advising that it should have been done is do like the British Empire did. You buy the slaves and release them. How much would that cost compared to killing 600,000 Americans, and where it lingered for 100 years? I mean, the hatred and all that existed. So every other major country in the world got rid of slavery without a civil war. I mean, that doesn't sound too radical to me. That sounds like a pretty reasonable approach. I represent the Republican ideals, I think, much more so than the individuals running for the party right now.
Big segments of the Republican Party seem to take some umbrage to what you've done. I must say it's been a while since I've heard things like this. National suicide if the Republicans elected you, dramatically out of step with the Republican Party, anti-business record, economic conservatives fuming. John Edwards blush. What's going on here, Governor?
Well, Bob, it sounds like that some of those stories are being written by my opponents and their press shop. My record is a solid one as a conservative.
One big question this week. How you feeling?
I feel great now. I had so many different tests, and they all came back 100%.
Okay, let's turn then to your political health, which might, I don't know if it's a laughing matter.
The national numbers, look at that. Rudy Giuliani is now 20, down 13 points in a month.
What's gone wrong?
Well, look, this is going to be a close race.
What caused the decline? Look at this. In March, he had a 58-14 positive negative. It's now 37-37 after an avalanche of stories.
This is I guess it's like a 29-inning ball game, right?
29 innings now.
Right. Well, there are 29 primaries and caucuses between the 3rd of January and the 5th of February. I think it's 29. Could be 26-31. They keep changing. I don't know who's going to win in Iowa. Somebody's going to win in Iowa. I hope I win in Iowa.
You're not going to win in Iowa. You're in 5th.
George, this is Christmas time. We can all hope.
Let's take a look at your record in New York. The public record shows a city hall that had a reputation of resistance, even hostility toward open government, the First Amendment, and the public's access to simple facts and figures.
We put out so many facts, so many figures.
You've also talked a lot about your record after 9/11. There's a group of pretty determined firefighters who want to defeat you on this issue. They make two main charges. Number one, that those firefighters in the North Tower, many of them lost their lives because their radios didn't work.
Well, the radios that you're talking about weren't put online for 3, 4, 5 years after. So it would have been impossible for me to have those radios ready. It took the city 2 or 3 more years.
But they had malfunctioned in 1993.
But even with the new equipment, it took another 2 or 3 years for those radios to be put online. So it would have been impossible for us to have gotten them online before that, given the fact that it took so long afterwards.
These firefighters say they're going to be dogging you in South Carolina and Florida.
Well, look, everybody has to look at all of the reasons. They have to look at what I did on September 11. My results as mayor of New York were, many people believe, exceptional. I'm not talking about September 11, where people viewed it differently before politics than after politics.
We've all got what we want for Christmas. It's this race. Unbelievable.
Nobody knows who's going to win.